What's up, guys? Today we're gonna be just telling around some school stories. I actually have a lot of them. I still am in school, and like my school's almost coming to an end, so I just thought it'd be a good time to tell some school stories. They're pretty interesting, and like for a part two. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe. It does nothing but support me. We're so close to 100 subs, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first story is actually about someone who was in my class this year, right? So basically, my teacher this year, they had surgery, so they couldn't teach us for like what, 5 months, 6 months, or something like that. So in the meantime, we had to have this TOC, or a substitute teacher. And this substitute teacher, at first, I thought they were pretty cool. They weren't too strict, but also, like, when things were going down, they would tell us to stop. So it was like a normal teacher. I didn't have a problem with it at first until I realized what was gonna happen. What I mean by this is that there's this one person in my class, I will not say their name, but basically, they're a huge suck up to any substitute teacher so they can get the best treatment possible. So basically, we have this teacher's pet in our class, and this teacher is accepting her teacher's, like, just her being a teacher's pet. So that made us pretty mad, especially when we're playing this game. It's like, so basically, the teacher picked out a random letter, and there were a bunch of random topics, and we had to think of a word that started with that letter, or like based on that topic. And of course, duh, you aren't allowed to have your phones during that game or in class at any time. But for some reason, the teacher told another person to put down their phone and put it away, but she didn't tell the teacher's pet to. And that was just something light, but like, since the teacher, even our substitute teacher's like, oh, there's no phones allowed. This person was playing Among Us in class. I'm not kidding. And it's not like she was being secretive about it. There was like 8 people around her watching, and the teacher just let it happen. But no one else could. Like, if this teacher caught kids playing games in class, they would have to write an essay about why that was wrong, and I'm not even joking about that. But this person just like got to play Among Us in class. Like, what the heck? Like, that was honestly really crazy to see, because like, of course she's gonna accept teachers' pets because her ego is so low that she needs it boosted or something. I don't even. Okay, so this next story actually happened very recently. Like, I'm pretty sure it literally happened, I don't even know, maybe a few weeks ago. These stories are very recent because this year has actually been pretty eventful with COVID. But anyways, we have a substitute teacher this time because the teacher's in a meeting, not because they had surgery. They were back from surgery by now, but we were just having a substitute teacher just because teacher was in a meeting. And so we have gym class today. And the teacher thought of this game, made up herself. It was she described it as human-sized foosball. So basically, if any of you have not played foosball is basically just like table soccer, right? It's and basically, of course, all the players hold hands and stay connected in foosball because that's because they're not real humans. They have to stick together so they'll stay up and not fall down. So that's the point of foosball, right? And this sounds really bad because since you're linking arms, you can't protect yourself from getting hit from the soccer ball. And the whole point of foosball in the first place is literally to block shots with the person that isn't the goalie. So I already know this is a bad idea, and literally the whole time, the entire time, I was saying this is a bad idea, we shouldn't play this, and even our entire class voted to play something else, and the teacher said no. So we're like, you know what? So eventually, I kind of calmed down for complaining. I don't really stop, but anyways, I kind of calmed down, and and then near the end of the game, like probably 5 minutes before gym class ends, what I was predicting finally happened to none other than me. So basically, literally 1 minute ago, this kid that was in front of me kicked the ball and it almost hit me in the face, right? So I'm like, okay, this kid can kick really hard, and he always kicks it really high, right? So to try and protect my face this time, I can't use my arms, remember, because they're linked and they're being held. So what this kid kicks like the ball, so I'm like, okay, he's gonna go high. So I bring my leg up and lean backwards, kind of to protect my body. But this time, of course, he kicks it really fast and low, and it hits me right in the crotch. That was such horrible pain. Like for anyone out there who's ever been hit there, and who is a guy, oh my god. Like, I actually wanted to throw up. I wanted to die. And like, I predicted this. I knew that this was gonna happen. So I was also angry, and I actually had to stay home from school the next day because my stomach was just cramping so bad from that injury. So, this is just, a reminder to basically substitute teachers that, sometimes your ideas aren't the greatest. I mean, like, I get that the intentions were to have fun, but literally our entire class in 5 seconds knew that this was going to be bad. So how did a full grown adult not realize that this is not going to be good and not going to be fun? And it wasn't just me complaining, by the way, it was literally everyone. So far, substitute teachers have been pretty crazy in my school years. Okay, so this is the first story that actually happened a little while back. Basically, well, actually, this was probably one of my best field trips ever. But we're going to a field trip in this amusement park, right? And this is a very popular amusement park where I live, and it's a lot of fun. And I've actually only been there a few times, so I was really excited for this field trip. And the day comes, we get there, and we're having a really fun time. We're going on rides. We were each assigned a group, and I was actually paired with my friends. Very lucky. And we were going on rides, but eventually, at like 12:15 or what time or whatever, it was time to go eat lunch. And so we were meeting. Our group was meeting up at the specific place, and they realized, oh, two of our group members aren't here. And you know what? So me and the other two, my other friend that was there, because it was a group of four, they just told our supervisor that, oh, we're gonna go find them because we think we know where they are, right? That was a lie. We did not know where they are. We were completely guessing. So we go and we're trying to find them, and this was a like basically a district-wide field trip, which means that all the schools in the area were there. So it was very busy. It was full of people on a sunny day. So we were just trying to navigate our way through. But eventually, we got lost ourselves. And like it was quite a strange experience because there were so many people there. Just like the sheer amount of people, like we couldn't like see anything basically. And now looking back during coronavirus times, that seems pretty impossible. But anyways, getting back to the story, like while and eventually, 10 minutes later we find our way back, and we see that our two group members that were lost were just found their way back. And for some reason, the supervisor just decided to not like tell us or anything, because you see the supervisor was my friend's dad, right? And you know how me and another friend went to go search? Yeah, the friend that I went to go search with was the supervisor's son. So why didn't the supervisor just call his son and tell them they're here? Because that was very possible, because their son had a phone, and so did he. But no, we had to find our way back. And but like, I know this doesn't sound like too crazy of a story, but that's because I'm shortening it down. Like, what were we at the time? Like, I don't remember what age, but we were kind of young, and it was difficult to find our way back by ourselves, and we couldn't ask help from anybody because basically everyone around was students, and most of the students were older than us. So we barely found our way back, and for some reason, like, that was just something that kind of scarred me, because we were lost in an amusement park with lots of people and we couldn't find our way back. And the only reason we found our way back was because of complete luck. Like we could have been going for another 10 minutes if we didn't accidentally go back there. So this one is definitely on the more energetic end, probably one of the most interesting. I wasn't really a part of this, but being a spectator was crazy. So like basically like I think a year or two ago, something really popular in school was American football. Personally, I didn't like football. I stayed playing basketball with like and manhunt with my friends and tag. But like a huge like group of kids would always play football each day, right? And something absolutely crazy happened one day. And this happened a lot, but I'm just going to tell you guys the first time because the first time was honestly the craziest. There was a huge fight. I don't mean yelling. I mean fist fight between a group of people that wanted to kill each other. And you see, the way my school is set up is the, we have two fields, and one of the fields is way like kind of out of sight if you were to just look. So that field was kind of out of sight they were playing on. And bro, my friends that were playing soccer on the other side of the field, they were going crazy. It was just a dog pile of people fighting. Like I to this day, I couldn't tell you what sparked that fight. It was like, and eventually, the people came and tried to break it up. But day after day, this would keep happening. So eventually, like footballs had to be taken away from our school for a year. That's how extreme it got. And these fights were crazy. There were punches being thrown, kicks being landed, like pushing, shoving, grabbing. I know a few kids came out of that bloody, and like that. Honestly, like I think you guys will know what I'm talking about. But watching that was so entertaining. Like watching from above the hill and just playing tag while watching that happen. Like it it was crazy though. Like I think I think the most severe thing to come out of one of those fights was probably a kid like with a bloody nose. Like there were no major broken bones, right? Like but it was just crazy what was going on. And if these people were older than the age of 12 and stronger, then it would have been a lot more dangerous because these were 11 and 10-year-olds fighting. But if these were teenagers, bro, that would have been dangerous. You know, come to think of it, my school actually, has quite the history of fights, like physical fights. Now that I think about it. This one this one happened probably 8 months ago, or something, beginning of the school year. Or I don't know, it happened a little while ago, and basically, so there's four swings on the very left of our school grounds, right? And there's a big competition for those swings, right? So my class, a few like my friends, my friend group, we usually get those swings, right? But this time it's only me and one of my other friends who get the two swings on the left, and on the right side, it is this this kid, this other kid, well, just basically two random kids, right? And one of the kids is gonna be a key to this story. So basically, that one important kid for the story that was on the swings has this one friend, right? And that one friend was trying to push him off the swing so he could steal the swing, right? And this friend and like he got really mad after a bit, and like eventually, right? His friend succeeded in pushing him off, and that's when stuff went down. He went crazy. He was chasing him at full speed, screaming things like, "Oh, I will kill you!" And he was literally tried to stab him with a stick, right? And he was running away, like he was swearing. He was trying to stab him. He was crazy. It was serious. And then eventually, like the other guy decides to square up. So he starts squaring up. Bro, full punches are being thrown. Like this fight is going down. This is like no filter. This is just them battling it out. And I'm sitting here with my friend that's on the swing and my other friends who are just chilling. just going, okay, what the heck? Because this happened in a matter of like 50 seconds. And then, like, eventually, they stop fighting, like, for a bit. They separate themselves. They stop fighting for a bit. They're just going insults about how this guy's dad left. Oh, this guy's parents don't love him, blah, blah, blah. Just these insults that they meant. Eventually, that one kid that got pushed off the swing again had enough and started chasing after him again. And this is when the teachers notice they're trying to separate him, right? Eventually, they succeed, but that one kid who got pushed off is not letting go. He's screaming at him and he's trying to break from the teacher's like grip, but eventually he just like breaks down. And then I don't know if they've really reconciled since. Again, this has been like what, months ago. It was crazy. Like it was definitely an experience, and I think I'm probably even missing some details about it, but that's what I remember happening. And that is gonna do it for today's video, guys. I don't want to tell too many school stories because, again, I would be interested in making a part 2. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this in the comments. If you watched this part, just comment the letter Y. It's a pretty underrated letter. We'll go letter Y if you made it to this part. And just have a good day or night.